Yeah. DQ, baby. LAE on the track. About to have some fun with this one. Check. Back to catch wreck. No respect for those who break their neck to keep their hoes in check. Be sure to check the box off how I'm knocking their socks off. Unique flavor, stay in the bag like hot sauce. Catch wreck. No respect for those who break their neck to keep their hoes in check. Be sure to check the box off how I'm knocking their socks off. Unique flavor, stay in the bag like hot sauce. To catch wreck. No respect for those who break their neck to keep their hoes in check. Be sure to check the box off how I'm knocking their socks off. Unique flavor, stay in the bag like hot sauce. DQ.
Yeah, what's happening, man? Y'all can hear me? Am I good? Everybody doing out there, man?
Yeah, you doing good. I can hear you, bro.
All right. Damn, nah, we wanted some balls on that one, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like I'm not trying to be funny. I know this is the brain show, but
yeah.
I'd love to hear some of the bars though.
Yeah, no, we got the we gonna get the other one in there for y'all. Probably a little later. We'll play that again. I'm
sitting there like that sounds crazy.
Like, the clean version. This is super clean. They ain't saying nothing dirty.
Nothing at all. It's Arm & Hammer clean.
Nah, man, what's happening, man? Welcome back to the Brain Show, man. Missed y'all, man, over we ain't seen y'all since the new year. Man, glad to be back, back at it. You know what I mean? We about to get it in one more again. You know what I mean? Shout outs to my co-hosts, Marcus, Chilimawambe. I think that's how you say it.
What?
I'm trying, man.
Chilawambe,
man. What's going on with your boy?
What's good, bro? I'm excited to be back in the building, continuing on with the shows we've been putting on. Fresh for the 2024. Ecstatic about these Cowboys losing. So the 18 seems to be going very well for me right now.
Yes, indeed, man. As we keep on going, man, what's up with my boy Brass, man, the general of the pseudo killer army, man? What's happening with your boy?
Hey, man, pray for Texas. It's about to get. They said that it wasn't going to start getting really cold in Texas until tomorrow, but obviously it started today around 4:00.
Yeah.
So, if you got family in Texas, check on them. But yeah, no, I'm fired up. We back in the game. A lot of these conversations, I think people don't understand. They're a little complex. So it's not like a gossipy kind of show that we could just present just off the cuff to people. You know, we take your mind, we take your time very serious, and we're not going to get up here and just freestyle. So it takes time to present some of these conversations that we're having, but people are interested, and I'm just glad to be back in the building.
True indeed, man. We glad to have you back, man. What's going on, man? We got the Lady Killer PK official, the one y'all all love and know. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Sister Juju?
Do they really love me? Man, you
know they love you, man.
Oh goodness, boy, you love me or you hate me, boy. Ain't no gray areas. Yeah. we doing fine. My brain's still on vacation, but my body's here. But we still gonna get it in. Have a little edutainment, I guess. You feel me? Minus the rah-rah. Let go.
Yes, indeed, man. Just a little score update, man. It's looking like 34-16. We ain't doing what they supposed to be doing right now. So, we always love it when that happens like that. You know what I mean? I know I appreciate it. Y'all only played one more game than we did, you know what I'm saying, this year. So,
Man.
can't talk too much trash to my commanders.
All right.
Yeah, that's good, but not good enough. You heard.
Well, I'm out of it. They done did all my Florida teams dirty. They messed up the Seminoles, you feel me? They snapped them on the bowl game. And then they made the Dolphins play in weather that we can't even thrive in. Like, I don't get it. They just messing with us. They're just playing with us.
Wait. Hey, Juju, I'm sorry. Wait. New score alert, 42-16.
Oh boy. Ooh,
They just scored again. This is embarrassing, man. This
they're
is
not coming
embarrassing.
back.
Somebody check on Sosa.
Lisa.
Somebody check on Miss Lisa.
Yeah,
Somebody
boy.
check on Sadiq. Because at this point, I'm not even gonna talk trash. I care, man. This is one of them where you call them like, I hope everything is okay.
Yeah, I need a welfare check ASAP.
And yeah, I need a welfare check. Yeah, that's what they call it. I need a welfare check.
Marcus, you hilarious, bro. Marcus, you is wrong. Man.
I had to give her a courtesy call, man. I ain't seen
They've been killing us, Kent. They've been killing me and Marcus all year, Kent.
Yeah, they have.
Look, I got to the point I couldn't even talk halfway through the season, man. So all right.
Jerry Jones, it looked like a funeral home in that skybox.
Man, listen.
That's wild.
Man, let me shout out to the chat, man. Who we got in here today, man? We got Rock City, New York. What's up with your Gideon Block? What's happening, man? Teddy, using my raw Snefru. I'm surprised I knew how to say that.
You did it, too.
Yes, I've been around so long, man.
That Bitterman, boy, that ladies in Bitterman getting to you, boy.
Yes, sir. To Sama Sprinkles.
We get some Mr.
That's a real name. That's the only reason you would call yourself that. Who else we got in the building, man? DQ, man. What's up with you, man? Always a pleasure to have you in the building, man. Pseudo Killer Official, Posterior's Tout or Thought, whichever one it is. Thought. Okay, yeah, Thought.
Posterior's Thought.
We got Hits in the building. You know what I mean? Coming through. Who else? American Dream, man. Always good to have you back, brother. You know what I mean? We know you're an avid supporter of the Pseudo Killers. And
I don't know. Wait a minute. American Dream been going hard in 2024. What's wrong?
What'd he do?
I mean, he's been going hard. He do what he do, but it's like 1,000. I'm just saying. We need a hug.
Well, you know, man, the brother needs somewhere to express himself, man, and get us.
Damn.
This might be therapy for the brother, man. So, we appreciate what part we play in his body budget. And you know what I mean? We may be the ones. Oh, Marcus, I just saw it just now, Mark. He got that new avatar on his
back. You see?
Yeah. You know what I mean? But nah, man, we gonna get right to it, man. We ain't gonna keep y'all alone tonight, man. We some more football left to be played. So without further ado, I think
football and tennis. Okay. Football and tennis got the Australia Open. I'm just saying.
Okay.
That's what I've been
on. What's the girl name, man? I think she played today too, man. Who?
Coco Gauff.
No, basketball, college ball.
Yeah, she did play. Angela Reese. I watched some of it. It was tied. Like Auburn was giving them that business. I'll find out in a minute, but it was like 44-44 when I caught it. Like, yeah.
Oh, okay. I had to go back and check.
But I had some work to do, so I couldn't play.
Said my brain's predictive power never would have imagined Juju as a pan. Okay, well,
you're the only one that didn't know that, though. Everybody knew that.
Yeah,
I stand on that square hard. I am the PK's resident blackologist.
That's what me and her go to war with.
All the time.
You know what I mean?
Thought y'all knew. Shoot.
Already.
Oh boy. So I guess we can't play no more, can we?
What that? Y'all can't play what?
I mean, we playing, having fun. I guess we got to get the business.
We good. No, we good, man. We just there, kicking it. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to find this Auburn score real quick.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and find that, man. We let the people.
They pulled it out.
We got 8 in there. We need at least 100.
No.
8. Come on now.
But you're not gonna get that. The whole world is Cowboys fans. Ain't nobody turning away from that.
Oh man,
that's what I said. We could rock. We just gotta rock. Like what they say, you gotta rock. If it's 1 or 1,000 in the building, you gotta rock out.
Man, Auburn got them by 5 points, 67-62. Auburn. Damn. Come on, Angela.
Team Caitlin Clark over here. Man.
All right, that's enough.
Yeah, man. So I mean, we'll go ahead and give them a little, just a little update or recap of what we did back, how far we've came.
Yeah.
We've been going for I don't know how many weeks it's been now, as far as this show is concerned. Maybe 7, 8.
Yeah, but this little book packed with info.
Man, it's like life lessons in this thing, man. Things you didn't even know about yourself in this
exactly. And because the scientific nature, meaning that the person who wrote it is definitely a scientist, a reputable, a well-known in this field of study, neuroscience and psychology. Am I right, Marcus? So, yeah, we're not gonna rush it. Microwave information. As we learn, we all learn, right? I think Kofi Pasa used to say something to that note, but
Yes, indeed.
I want to plagiarize, but do we want to go ahead and get right into it on our review, or anybody else have anything to say before we?
No, I'm good.
Start with the process. So, Juju is up because I was tasked with. Well, I tasked myself with the half lesson and chapter 1 of 7.5 lessons about the brain. Before I start, I do want to remind everybody that in the description box, I'll put a couple things, but one of the things you definitely should look at is the 7.5 lessons link. I left the link for the notes that the author herself, she does a whole separate website with notes. And then when you go into the notes, there's see this note, and you click on it and it expounds on the note, giving you everything you need to know about that particular piece. Even if it's adding more scientific variables to the conversation, it's giving you the definition, it's breaking it down, it's giving you the resources where you can do further investigation, and all the experts that that she has used as source material in different fields comparable. Okay, so I think that is one of the best tools, the major tools, to not only comprehend the material, but just comprehending the science as a whole. So the half lesson of the brain, we start off talking about amphioxy, which are, these organisms that lived 550 million years ago. They're pretty much related to our common ancestor, right? And these were organisms that didn't necessarily have a brain. They had a teeny clump of cells, not quite a brain, but they had, I guess you could say, like nerves, or this ability to they had a sensory aspect, right? But the sensory was connected to movement. So, when they sensed something, they automatically moved, right? Then we started to understand the process of brain development, meaning that it's called predation, right? And they say predation is kind of linked to the evolutionary process of the brain, because the organism needs to survive, and usually survive against the prey. So not only did our bodies start to develop to become bigger, but also to have more systems, like, the circulatory system, endocrine system, digestive system. All these things are actually implicated to help us survive, right? Now that your body is bigger and it has these systems, you need something to regulate the systems. And this is how the brain evolved. Now, what was fantastic about this chapter is it gave us the real function of the brain. Most people, not being very literate on the subject matter, would think that the brain was used for thought, thinking, those kind of cognitive things. But in actuality, the brain main function is for allostasis. We called it body budgeting a lot, and you'll still hear us use it. But allostasis is how the body budgets its systems, energy, how it expels energy, right? Making sure that it's doing things at the most proficient and efficient level, because being proficient, being more specifically efficient at the most supreme level, absolutely increases your ability to survive. So those were some of the main aspects of the half lesson, was getting into that. There are some more things to that, but like I said again, I left you the notes, so you can definitely go into the notes and follow along and get some of the more intricacies. But we don't want to take too long on the review. So before I do move on to chapter 1, does anyone want to add to anything from the half lesson?
No, I'm fired up for chapter 1. Unless anybody else got something.
No, I like how they started off with, how the brains even started. What was that the name of that animal one more time?
Amphioxy.
Yeah, it was interesting to see how it started off to, become more complex and complicated, and
Right.
hunting and dodging and,
Right.
prey. Yeah.
That's the one, the hunting aspect. Yeah, surviving against their prey.
Yeah. And
That's
even, oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying the hunting part. I should have mentioned hunting because that's clearly mentioned, but that goes to the predation part. They discussed the predation part is, the mechanism that helps evolve the other systems and the brain. Continue though.
No, so, and I know this conversation that we've been having, back and forth, that's coming up between Logic and Marcus. Make sure y'all pay attention to that part of this book, because that kind of explains the early parts of decision making. But I'm gonna leave it right there. I ain't gonna get too deep in it.
Marcus, you want to add something to the half lesson?
No, I think he covered it very well.
Okay, so review on chapter 1. I'm sorry, and to give you the title of the half lesson, I should have done that first. Is your brain is not for thinking. That's the major point, to discuss the evolutionary processes and what that brain is actually evolved to actually do or function as, and that's for body budgeting or allostasis. Lesson number 1 was you have one brain, not 3, and that was to allude to this kind of early, description or assertion of what the brain was, or parts of the brain. So just getting into it, and Plato wrote about, things like this. Uh, you have Okay, it's called the triune brain, right? So he wrote about it like you have this part that deals with your rational thoughts, you have one that deals with your emotions, and you have one that deals with your primal instincts. Those primal instincts would be things like eating and sex, okay? And how your rational thought is basically at the helm of controlling your emotions and your primal instincts. And that was Plato. So you can kind of imagine how long ago was that, how long ago that was. And I like that part because it also shows kind of a lot of people use Plato for is like philosophical discussions. So it shows you also how these philosophical discussions can also evolve and become scientific matters. And the brain and the discussion of the brain is one of those. Okay. And then we moved into things like I expressed the prion brain. We talked about, and then moving further into time, you talked about the sin of man, Charles Darwin specifically, right? And he speaks about an ancient inner beast. This thought or assertion was interesting to me, and we can actually expound on it later on, maybe do another show. But it talks about the more intellect you have, the more you're able to control that inner beast. So it's kind of, there's lots of ways we can go to, and I'm sure pseudos can take that and run with it. But there's this idea, like, the more intellect you are, also the kind of the more civilized you are. You get what I'm saying? But um Charles Darwin, like, I don't want you to, well, yeah, but either way, it is what it is. But it also doesn't mean it goes somewhere else, and I'm not going to even mention it. But I thought that was interesting. But that was Plato basically gave rise to those thoughts. And also, the triune brain wasn't something that people really spoke about. It didn't get much breath until Carl Sagan in the 1970s wrote The Dragon of Eden, right? But starting within the 1990s, as we're getting more technology, you're getting more data. Scientists are understanding the brain a little bit more, the different mechanisms. Then you'll understand that the triune brain, once considered philosophical, once considered scientific, actually became, like they say, one of the biggest mistakes in science. You know what I'm saying? One of the biggest errors, because they had to debunk it because it wasn't so. And you start to see this in the 1990s, that the brain doesn't work like that. And they know this because rationality and emotion actually aren't in separate parts of the brain. They're actually in the same part of the brain. So that itself kind of debunks that idea. Then it gets into something that was pretty interesting that we also are going to talk about in this chapter, is comparing brains and species to different species. A lot of times we tend to compare ourselves by our brain abilities to other species, and with that, then we get this idea that human beings are more exceptional, but actually not, because well, we understand that things that we're strong in, animals may not be. There are things that animals have a strength in that human beings have no conception of. You get what I'm saying? So it's like this human exceptionalism, or this idea that we're exceptional beings, is actually a fallacy within itself. But the study of comparing different brains is called homology, and we'll talk about the homologous gene. They also, excuse me, I might have mixed up, but they call it the hoax gene, which is actually one that's been around for quite some time, hasn't changed due to any type of evolutionary pressures. But we'll get into more of that later. We also, in chapter 1, talked about the triune brain was the main part of it. Actually, if anybody else want to add anything else to that, go right ahead, because that's pretty much the gist. Again, we have the notes for you all if you want to get more detailed. We just don't want to waste a lot of time. We just want to kind of give you an overview and give you the meat of things that you need to conceptualize in order to understand the rest. Anybody else want to add to 1?
For chapter 1, the part that I like, that was a great overview. And also, if y'all have questions or anything, hit the link and come in. I mean, we're basically just giving a review, so we're going to be talking about all of the chapters. But if you want to come in and ask a question that has something to do with the topic, by all means, hit the link and ask. But we're really just going to be talking about the previous chapters. But there's a line in chapter 1 that I loved, and it's where he was explaining, while it's true that we're the only animal that can build skyscrapers and invent French fries, these abilities are not due to our big brains alone. So, and he was talking about how other animals have evolved abilities that surpass ours in significant ways. So we don't have wings to fly. We can't lift 50 times our own weight. We can't regrow amputated body parts. Such abilities are superhero powers to us, but business as usual for allegedly lesser creatures. Last but not least, even bacteria are more talented than we are at certain tasks, like surviving in harsh, unfamiliar environments such as outer space or the insides of your intestines. So I run with I have different mottos and stuff that I love to be in a position where I can humble myself constantly, constant, but because if you don't check your arrogance, especially if you accomplish things or you do a lot of things and you feeling really good at the time, a lot of times I'll take the celebration and then immediately humble myself, see what I could have done better. And I noticed that a lot of times, especially in this particular community, in YouTube, on social media, or just people in general, they tend to be very arrogant, but unknowingly arrogant. So they'll say things like, I can do this, and when people use a lot of I and me when they're talking, I always like to have that in my back pocket to say, yes, we are, this, and yes, we could do that. But if I cut off my arm, I got to get I can't grow another one like a lizard, or I can't go to outer space or I can't survive in an intestine. I can't fly per se. Now, can I create a plane? Yes. But that, we're all creatures. I think a lot of times, even in that free will, no free will conversations that we have, we separate ourselves so much from animals. We separate ourselves so much from other people, but 99.9%, we're all the same. So, yeah, some are black, some are white, some are this, some are that, whatever. But I love the fact that
I'm talking about humans on that part, right? I don't want them to
right,
mistake.
on humans. Yeah, I'm talking about humans on that part. Yeah, we're not the same as a toadstool or something.
Right.
I'm just saying, but what I mean is, but you get what I'm saying?
I don't want
like the fact that,
thank you.
yeah, but they're gonna run with what they're gonna run with. I'm done correcting myself all the time for them. But it's just the fact of constantly remembering, we're not on this earth here by ourselves. And while we are, the quote unquote dominant species, if all the lights go out, then I think dogs might take over. Like if they always talk about dogs, stray dogs, and would be the biggest predator. They become predators in the inner cities and stuff like that. So that was always interesting to me for chapter 1.
Think about it like this: we almost got taken out by something we can't even see.
Yeah,
a species that we can't even see took us out. So I mean, how special are we? I mean, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Quick joke, real quick. I don't mean to change it up real quick. Just a little quick.
I already know there's 40. Go ahead.
No, they said I haven't seen Jerry Jones this upset since they passed the Civil Rights Act. I was like, what the
heck? I haven't seen Jerry Jones this quiet since he was watching the girls go to the school. Wait, since he was watching the girls go to school in Arkansas, the four black girls, when he was standing in the crowd.
Yeah,
I never seen him so quiet since he watched them go into that school.
Yeah, man. So, somebody sent me that tweet from somebody else just now. But go ahead, y'all.
Bro, they just scored again. It's 48-16.
Man.
Somebody getting fired, man.
Y'all focus.
I'm sorry. It's Kent's fault.
No, my bad, man. I saw that.
And Chilawabe, I already know Chilawabe. He probably can't breathe over there. He having so much fun. Bro, they've been hard on us, Juju. Them Cowgirls fans in that Discord are a gang, and they tough, but they quiet.
Yeah,
super quiet right now. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Do it.
One thing about chapter 1 I found to be extremely interesting is the advent of science and technology quickly changes when it comes to science. So the better our technology get, the better we understand our technology, we can then go back and look at some assumptions that have been made in the history and then look into that a little better. So like with the triune brain, the development of certain dyes that can be isolated by certain neurons and proteins, MRI machine, fMRI machine, genetic testing came into it as well. We can now see and get a better picture of our evolutionary process because of the advancements of technology. And that she talks about that in chapter 1. So I think that's very important. Science is not stagnant. It is slow changing, but it's not stagnant in the sense that it can never change.
Facts. Yeah. We want to go to chapter. What we on 2?
Yeah, I can go right into chapter 2 if you're done, Juju.
Oh yeah, I'm done. I mean, I can go on for 10 more minutes about it. I had to pick and choose, right?
Mm-hmm. No, you did.
There's lots of important stuff in chapter 1 that I think that's a whole nother show. So we can make it a whole show, but go off with 2. This is
Dope.
good stuff all the way.
This chapter, if I had to say one word, it would be metaphor. When we did this show,
Oh yeah.
we used the word metaphor. If I go back and count, probably 75 times in about 2 hours. And the main reason why is because this chapter was the comparison of our brain being a network. So, she starts off, and I think I like the way she started off. She started off with the fallacies. Was the brain just for cooling the heart? That's Aristotle. Um, or the idea of phrenology, where each brain part was believed to control a different personality trait. Nah, not quite right. But the brain is actually an intricate network. You think of the brain as a network of 128 billion neurons. It's like the ultimate social network, but it's for your thoughts and your feelings. Each neuron is like a mini tree with branches, and how they reach out to make connections. And I love the beauty of this chapter was there's a lot of myths about the brain, similar to like the triune brain, and the brain does this and the brain does that. But in this chapter, I like because she got right into how the brain had like how it communicates. We have over like 500 trillion connections in our brain. It's like the busiest social network area ever, but it's for neural messages. So, and it's all about, it's not just overly powerful, like the scat packs and all of that, just making a whole bunch of noise. It's about efficient communication, not just great communication. So it's fast, but not wasteful. It's like being kind of creative. You know what I mean? Being creative and being with your budgeting. We go back into body budgeting and allostasis. It's not about just overly powerful, just take over the world. No, it's efficient. How much energy do you need? How much do you need for this specific act at this specific time, taking into account that you may need something later? That's one of the things that they covered early in the book when they were talking about body budgeting as far as for hunting. Do I have all this energy to go on a full out sprint to get this food right now? Because when I go get to this food, yes, I'm gonna my brain tells me I'm gonna do a full out sprint to go get this food. But then once I get it, am I gonna have enough energy to get back to where I am or fight off the other animals? Your brain is doing all of this all at the same time, trying to figure out how much power for the legs, how do the muscles are supposed to flex, all of those things. So it's not just communication, it's efficient communication. So then she started getting into more of the metaphoric conversation, the neurons, the hubs, the neurotransmitters. How the neurons group into hubs, kind of like how you would form like a group in school, and damage to these hubs can affect your mental health. And that the neurotransmitters are like our brain's messengers. And then the neuromodulators are like the moderators adjusting the message strength. So if you can understand as far as with the communication, that's why the brain is so fascinating. And that's why it's also, not misunderstood, but there's so many more things to learn. I hope that I'm alive to see that they figure out things like these conversations we have about the mind and consciousness and free will or no free will. I hope I see the conclusions of these things where they get to the consensus of what exactly is. I understand that the brain knows you're going left before you know you're going left. I understand that part. But just to see how the neurotransmitters, the neurons, how everything is hubbed and grouped together, I would just love to see how that play out. But that's the selfish me. But so what it highlights though is that the brain's versatility and adaptability is important. Like, for example, she was talking about how her occipital cortex is multi-talented. It handles more than just sight. The brain is adaptable. The different parts are capable of doing similar jobs, but it's like being good at multiple sports or multiple subjects. So now you can see how somebody can go blind, but then use their fingers, which highlights a different part of their brain, to learn Braille. But then it also highlights the parts to see, even though they lost their eyes. I mean, it's amazing. So you could think of the brain as like either simple like a meatloaf or complex like a Swiss Army knife, but they both have their unique strengths. As she was bringing it home, I loved how she went into in chapter 2, how she went into cultural adaptation and how it went before. So like how a complex brain, it helps us quickly adapt to new cultures or new environments. It's like having a built-in GPS for navigating life. I think when we had this show many months ago, I'm about to say moons like a weirdo. The many months ago, I remember saying how it was a culture shock for me when I moved from where I grew up to the inner city. I lived in a more rural area and then to an inner city, but because my brain was complex, because I did play sports, there were things that I connected with. So even though I didn't connect with them through culture when I moved to the inner city, and I didn't necessarily connect with them through language, I really was like out of shock. Our clothes were different, how I spoke was different, but I did have a common bond of sports. And then through sports, I was able to connect through language. Through language, I was able to connect through now about dress and culture. The brain is a very complex organ. So she also talked about how animals have impressive brains too, how octopuses can solve puzzles, how some birds show elements of language use. I noticed that she does that a lot. She takes it to us, but then she'll go to like animals to give like a similarity or like a relation. She finished talking about Jaleel cells in our brain are still a bit of a mystery. But what I liked about that though is that when she finishes these chapters, she shows us that there's so much more to discover. There's so many more things to learn. She is an expert in her field, but she's also letting you know, like even when we have these conversations about no free will or free will, there are some things that there's a consensus of scientists agree on, but that a lot of this is not mapped. A lot of this stuff is just in discussions. It's things that it's not. I wouldn't use a word like belief. That's more like Aristotle and them what they were talking about, and Plato with the brain. We've moved a lot further, like Marcus said, because of technology. But our brain is not just a simple organ. It's a dynamic, constantly evolving network. It's constantly changing. Bobby Banger Unk, when we were talking about these conversations earlier, his connection to these conversations, he's very well read, but he immediately, because evolution is his thing, that's like his main thing, he immediately connected through it like, oh, okay, so it's like evolution, and then that placed it. That shows how the brain's adaptability can make you understand it a little better. And she finished in conclusion with, the more we learn about the brain, the more we realize how much there is to explore. It's an ongoing scientific adventure. And that's the beauty of it. There's always something that we can learn in regards to these conversations. Juju always says, I think she just said it, we could do 5,000 shows based on this book. We can go back and do 2 more shows based just on chapter 1 alone, now that we're doing the overview. So I don't want to be long-winded. I hope I gave you a good idea of chapter 2. If you have any questions, by all means, hit the link or put something in the chat. But I'm just humbled and appreciative that y'all tune in and listen to us and give us the opportunity to present to you. Thank you.
True indeed. True indeed. We appreciate that, Brass, man. That was beautiful, man. We did have a question by somebody in the chat, Phoenix Rising. He said, they say the gut is our second brain. Is it because there's some science to indicate that the gut gives us some info and probably relays the info to our brain? And he wanted to ask that to the killers.
Well, I mean, that's more like Marcus, but I would say, even when we talk about no free will, how we talk about those internal and external factors. One of those internal factors is your gut's biome.
Yeah, the microbiome.
Your gut's biome, your microbiome that goes on in your gut determines a lot of what you choose to eat, it affects a lot of the things that you tend to do. So if that's what you mean, then I mean, I don't know if I'll go so far as to say second brain. I mean, maybe Marcus has heard that term, but I do know the microbiome in your gut is very important, and it decides a lot. It decides a lot about what how you affect your life. I'd have to look it up even more to get the more scientific thing, but Marcus could probably do it off the top of his head.
So one of the reasons is because it is sometimes referred to as the second brain, maybe metaphorically, but it is referred to at times. And the reason is multiple reasons why, really. But 2 of the main ones is that your gut has neurons in it that sends neurotransmitters up to the brain through the vagus nerve. and that is I think it's serotonin, with the serotonin receptors in both places. And because of that communication and the influence that each one plays on the other, they consider it like a second brain. There's a study out where they checked a fruit fly's gut biome, and they looked at it, and then they isolated certain proteins out of it. And the isolated fruit fly proteins were driven to eat a type of food that contained that protein. So that's the latest study they did. I think that came out in 2022. That talks about how your gut biome may be driving some of your cravings. And then there's other studies they did with large animals, and then there's studies they did with people. But that's mainly one of the main reasons is the vagus nerve, one of the 12 nerves that go directly into your sensory brain. And so because of that, they consider that. There's other proteins that leak through your that come from the bacteria and viruses in your stomach that leak through your intestinal walls and enter into your bloodstream that play a role in certain hormonal levels, and they can also influence and change some of the mechanisms in your immune system. And one of the ways that is through T13, I think T17 cells that affect your lungs. So there's a lot of research in there that still has to be done. But there's definitely some great studies out that show that your stomach and the organisms within your stomach is communicating with your brain and also communicating with your endocrine system, your hormone levels, and your immune system that play a great role in how you function daily.
True indeed, man. I hope that answered the brother's question. Matter of fact, oh yeah, you still in here. What's up, DQ, man? I wanted to shout you out real quick. I saw you joined on the panel, man.
Man, I'm good, brother. Just listening in, enjoying the information like always, King.
True
Peace
indeed.
to the family. Peace to the panel.
True indeed,
DQ.
man. We done had
Peace,
a
DQ, peace.
yes, hey DQ, we need that cussing version, man. We need them bars. The bars.
You still gotta get back to the cussing version.
That's a bet. I got you, man.
We wanted it clean. We wanted that clean, goddamn.
Yeah, I dropped that mug in holy water. You ain't hearing nothing.
They said, "Yo, you want the hook? All right, that got you." Nah, but man, you know that's one of your bangers right there, man. We always appreciate, you know what I'm saying, what you give to us, and even if it is that, you know, that still was banging.
Man,
you know,
appreciate that.
We done had a good more crowd come on in the building with us, man. Let's see, Miss Tiffany joined us. We got Lakeisha Dunn in the building. Nice to see you, Phoenix Rising. What's up, boy? Logic, man. Good to have you in here again. Half Squat, what's happening with you? Got Psychopatheist, man. What's up, brother, man? Sakina Raw. I think I shouted you out last time, but you know, just wanted to make sure we acknowledge you, man. Miss Proper TT. Nice to see you in here, sis. So and Donnie Wilson. Oh, Danny Wilson, what's happening, man? Good to see you, bro. So yeah, I think we on chapter 3 now. I'm not sure who was covering that.
I think that's Marcus.
Yeah. Also, Phoenix Rising is a lady.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, man. Nice to meet you. Nice to glad to have you join us in the chat, sis.
So I'm going to actually take 2 of them together. I'm going to do lesson 3, lesson 4. I think we ended up having maybe like 4 episodes of these 2 chapters together. They kind of synchronize themselves together. If you follow along so far in the half a lesson, the first lesson, she's dealing with the evolutionary track of how our brains develop, and then lesson 2, she starts to get into how it actually begins to function and operate. 3 and 4 is also about functioning and operating, but it gives you a little more insight into specific aspects of it. So 3 is little brains wire themselves to their world. Now, this is very interesting because we kind of acknowledge this already to a degree in some ways when we say things like if you're born in Islamic country, you're more likely to be a Muslim, or in a Christian country, you're more likely to be, or if you from, there's some studies out about if you were born in the South, you're more likely to look at honor differently than if you were born in the North. If your great-great-grandparents were pastoralists versus farmers, you have a propensity to behave a certain way. The reason why that is that culture begins to influence how your brain, not so much as wires, but more so how those synapses connect and what does that mean in a sense like that. We talk about one of the studies she speaks about in this is the Romania orphanage, which happened in the 1970s. It might have been the 1960s, where a president of Romania, or dictator, however you want to refer to him, passed bills that were very restrictive on sexual reproduction, removing contraceptions and outlawing abortions. And people had a lot of children that they just couldn't take care of, so they turned them over to orphanages and turned them over to the state, which then didn't have the institutions and infrastructure to take care of those children. And you can see behavioral and physiological differences in those children who were in that situation. And then they even went further to take some of those children that were in their teenage younger years and bring them to America, put them into the American adoption process. And you can see a difference even in those children between the two. In the case of that, we call them caretaker, right? So as children, your caretaker helps to shape deeply how you view the world. You come in with a wide lens view. Every sensory mechanism is going on. Every light is heavily influencing your attention. Every sound that you hear. And then as you are in your cultural environment, both micro and macro, it begins to become more focused on what is important, what is not important, and then how you function within that society. That's 3. So you're born, your brain is still constructing. It's one of the things that are significantly different in humans than all other animals. That's one point that I want to make sure everybody understands. In a sense that when you look at primates, they do have a long maturation period compared to other animals. But in humans, that maturation period is actually somewhere between 23 and 25 years. So it literally takes your brain 23 to 25 years to reach its full potential, in a sense. Its maturation until it reaches maturity. Up until that point, it's very fluid and plastic. Now that's getting into part 4, which is your brain almost predicts almost anything. But in the plasticity of the brain, in this developmental process, right? You're learning, and these learning techniques help to shape and strengthen certain synapses. So as a child, you may be able to learn 3 or 4 languages, but in your culture, you may only learn 1. And then as you age, it's more difficult for you to learn because the plasticity of the brain begins to, it's less effective. And then there's hormones that trigger during certain periods of your time that increase it again. So it's not a straight, your brain is 100% plastic throughout your whole life. It's more hilly, fluid, where at times in your life you're more, you may have more plasticity than other times. English cab drivers is a prime example that they use as an example for this, and that is in the sense that when you want to become a cab driver in England, you have to memorize the city, and they have a stages of tests. And they ended up wanting to go and see what was going on in the brains of those who passed it and who failed it. And they found out that certain parts of the brain, certain sections of the brain that deal with landscape. I don't want to get into too much detail in that reference. She doesn't get into it, but a certain part of the brain that deals with your positioning based in your environment gets stronger in those who was able to pass this test, while other areas that have to do with abstraction of your position got smaller for those who passed the test. For those who failed the test, they don't see that change. So you can see this plasticity that happens with learning, which is a very fascinating thing. If you ever wanted to experience that, try to learn an instrument or a language or even a scientific area search of research, and you'll start to see some mechanisms in you change, such as your language. You'll start using some words and terminology from whatever subject you learn. With that being said, we move on to a segment in which she wants to talk about the effects of what this means in everyday society. So she talks about poverty being one of them, being born in impoverished areas, in certain areas where if you could think about your brain is trying to find itself in a world, and if you have a lot of madness around you, loud noises and gunshots or horns going on, high lights at wrong times, like spotlights into your room at night and stuff like that, that affects how your brain views the world. And that can throw off your body budget as well as the developmental factors of your brain in certain cortexes in certain network systems. So that's lesson 3. Based on that, we get into lesson 4, which is your brain predicts almost everything you do. So if you imagine the conversation, you growing up, and this is your environment, your brain shapes to that, then you have certain expectations in the shaping of that brain on how the world will respond to certain functions that you may do. She uses, somebody say something?
No, my bad. I'll clear my throat. My bad.
Okay. She uses in this example about war and somewhat to PSTD, but more so at wartime when you're in a place of high alertness, how you can mistake
PTDS.
Huh?
PTSD.
How did y'all both mispronounce 4 letters so horribly? PTSD.
Yeah,
He said it one way wrong. You said it another. And what y'all be saying came in loud.
I know
wrong.
what he said one right, but I messed up too. PTSD.
Yeah. My fault.
No, go ahead.
That's all good, G.
Well, that's a long 5 minutes, Marcus, but go off.
Nah, that was 3. I got 2 of them together.
Oh yeah, he got 4. Yeah, he got 4 too. So
I'm already in 4 now.
Yeah, he's in 4 right now.
Wait, do your thing, man.
Finish up, bro.
So in 4, we dealing with that. So you got a guy who's in I think it was Rhodesia. Rhodesia. I think he was in the Rhodesia army. And he made a mistake in seeing a child with a stick. He thought it was a gorilla arm man with a weapon. He was about to pull the trigger. His friend stopped him. He wondered why he made that mistake. And the basic principle is that as your brain develops in this specific way, it begins to make predictions on what your environment responses will be. And it changes based on your environment. So your brain makes predictions on almost everything it does. It has an anticipation of a response from the external world. And it does it predictably a lot earlier than the actual quantitative experiences that we're talking about. Case in point, you're thirsty, you drink water. before the water actually enters into your bloodstream to change the actual chemical balance of it, you have already quenched your thirst, because it has an expectation of this will go here and this will happen there. And it's very specific in its expectation. So let's say you're out with your girlfriend, your wife, your mistress or whatever, and you're out, you go to a restaurant, you eat something, and then you go to a concert or a movie or anything like that, and your stomach gets upset. Your brain understands that this process required not the movies or the concert, but it understands in a sense that this had to come from the food. And that is because your expectations and your predictive model has already measured out your world, if you understand what that means. So you understand that you eat food and that right there can cause stomach problems versus what you hear. So your brain learns, it makes predictions, and then based on these predictions, it has expectations in the world. And that is how most people at times function. The whole construction process is a constant moving, changing experience. Every moment, whether your conscious mind or you're focusing on it, is not as significant as at every moment your brain is learning, becoming better at predicting, becoming more efficient. There are caveats to that, right? If you are in environments that are not productive in that way, then your predictive power has more error in it. It has less viability to it. Everything. If you see a steak, your mouth starts salivating and you smell and your stomach moves from a passive state into a more aggressive in preparation that you're about to eat food. That has to do with the parasympathetic and the synthetic nervous system. Fascinating when we get into that section. So you have these seeds in the brain that spur moments of lucidity, you could say. That too is also a predictive mode, right? You have these different variables that take place in that. It doesn't merely just react to the world. It predicts and then begins to scope its expectations. That is a very fascinating, beautiful thing that takes place. Speaking of that, it's 5 seconds left and the game is over. I like to congratulate the Green Bay Packers for that exciting win. I want y'all to know I'm an avid football fan, and my team is the Philadelphia Eagles. So every time the Dallas Cowboys lose, I'm overly excited. And guess what's going on right now in my body? Irregardless of the fact that I know that I'm releasing all types of dopamine and vasopressin, getting all excited about the fact that these Cowboys just took a loss. Woo!
Already. I guess you're gonna creep on into chapter 5 or not chapter 5, lesson 5, you know what I mean? Which we can all relate to every single one of these points, man. First book came to my mind when we got to this chapter was The Social Leap by a guy named William Von Hippel. If y'all ever get a chance, that's a good little side peek book, what I'm saying, to check out, how we became social animals or whatever like that. Part of the reason we're social is because, it helped us survive. So we evolved that way, you know what I mean? And in doing that, we help regulate each other's body budgets. We're not the only animals to do that, you know what I'm saying? But it helps us to be around each other and, be able to predict each other's behavior a little bit. You got things such as holding hands, you know what I'm saying? Your loved one in pain. You can lessen their suffering just by holding their hand. You know what I mean? It does something. I don't know the science behind it. I gotta go back and do my research on the science behind that. But they saying that it shows that helps to to help people suffering or whatever, just caring for individuals in your household or family members or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Talks about close relationships. You know what I mean? When you're in a relationship, a healthy relationship, how people live longer when they're in these types of relationships. Um, uh, how if you're not in a healthy relationship and it's a verbally abusive one, how that can, that verbal abuse or that aggression over time can lead to illness. You know what I mean? Because, as humans, we're not, our brains aren't meant to be in that kind of a situation. That constant uh uh what is it, cortisol, or I can't. Hey, Marcus, what's the when people getting attacked or people are constantly in fight or flight mode? What's that?
That's cortisol that's released when you
Oh,
have to.
okay. Yeah, you got that cortisol getting released constantly. Um, you got loneliness. You know what I mean? They found out when you're in solitary confinement, that leads to damage in the brain over long periods of time because we're a social species. You know what I mean? You got, the less people are familiar with you, the less they empathize with you. You know what I mean? When you're around people that you have more empathy. You can more predict what they're going to do. What's going to happen. To your safety. If you're going to be taken care of. You know what I mean? Those things that help survive. Then you got what's another one she said? You got I did a verbal aggression. Long periods of chronic stress can harm a brain. We already talked about that. What's
Malcolm
what?
also said epinephrine.
Epinephrine. Okay. Working together. I think I see one on higher job performances. You say another advantage of being a social species that we do better at our jobs when we're working with peers and managers that we trust. When we're in, those environments that motivate us, that help us to push and encourage each other. So, basically, you know, you gotta watch who you're around. You got to know what kind of relationships you're dealing with, what kind of friendships you have. Not being around people that constantly drain your body budget. Be around people that's going to add to your body budget, because if you know that constant stress, it someday leads to you having an illness, or someday leads to you not really being able to perform well. You know what to avoid. You know what I mean? And it's all about keeping your body budget together. You know what I mean? So, we need each other. I think one quote that stuck with me is she said, humans are the best, the best thing for our brain is other humans, other human brains, but it can also be the worst thing for our brain. You know what I mean? But I wasn't gonna keep it too long, man. I was gonna land right there, yo. And we got
Yeah.
chapter.
The reason why I'm starting with the 2 chapters that Marcus overviewed, with 3, particularly 4 and going into 5,
Mhm.
is because those are actually dealt with a lot of the social mechanisms that help with brain development. You get to understand the human organism as a social creature, and also it was something I learned about science, right? How they will usually test populations versus individuals because they understand that we're social creatures. That's important because it also means life and death, right? We're
Mm.
social organisms where we were evolved, forged that way. So without the social interactions, and in those chapters to talk about solitary confinement, how that's basically slow death. So whether it's forced solitary confinement or not, being in isolation or being away from other human beings, the lack of socialization affects our health. And it also got into the discussion. I'm adding on because these were the ones that basically help explain the science behind, or those mechanisms expressed through science, when we talked about ACEs, adverse childhood experiences,
Mm.
right?
Oh yeah,
So,
Ace.
and that's why I wanted to hit on that and get into the discussion of chronic or where you'll hear chronic or toxic stress. Yeah, they're the same, and they have the same implication. So, just those are some of the additions I wanted to add to you and Marcus's part.
Yeah, not. I also wanted. I forgot to add this part, like just to bring it home for people. You know what I mean? Like, just think about your day to day life, right? You got those people that when you go to work, you know what I mean. The ones you as soon as you see them, it just does something to you, right? Your anxiety go up, or you got that one supervisor that don't know how to talk to people, or you got the coworker that's constantly, what I'm saying, giving you sob stories and just draining you. Then you got them other people that come in cheerful and make you laugh, and you feel good around them, and it's really doing something inside your body. It's healthy in a way, and then it hurts you in other ways. You know what I mean? So that should just it let you know what to tolerate and what not to tolerate, especially when dealing with relationships. That's one of the main things people don't realize. Like, you can stay in certain situations that ain't good for you, and you don't really realize like how much you are hurting yourself. But yeah, so.
I
Yeah,
liked about your chapter the piece about people talk about they introverts and extroverts and all this and the other, but you don't realize how much you actually depend. Even if you don't like dealing with people, even if you don't want to deal with people, you are dealing with somebody. Somebody built that house that you live in. The
Right.
food that you're eating was farmed by someone else. It was graded by someone else. It was kept, safe enough for you to eat by somebody else. Every you
one
we
point.
we cannot survive on our own. Now I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't deal with anybody, I don't call anybody, I don't text anybody. Well, those lights that you have in your house are maintained by somebody else. They were created by somebody else. You cannot you do not you're never going to be on this earth by yourself. You interact with people in ways you might just be interacting with just their brain or something that they thought of, but other people's making sure that other people are good, making sure that mankind, not white, black, or otherwise, just mankind, humankind in general, making sure that you give a good deposit, make sure that you don't take more than
Yeah, the
you
deposit.
give.
Yeah,
Right.
talk about it.
Right, to make sure you don't take more than you give all the time.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's cool to drop tea all the time. Oh, I got the tea, I got the gossip, and this, that, and the other. But
Mhm.
sometimes you just gotta just be, or just sacrifice maybe yourself for the good of the group, stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
I appreciate things like when you understand things like how our nervous systems are tended by others. Your brain secretly works with other brains. This hidden cooperation keeps us healthy
Mhm.
Right.
in a very real brain wiring way. So it's sometimes I guess it's just to say, like, sometimes it's just
Dang,
not
bruh.
necessarily like, yeah, everybody wants to be witty and this, that, and the other. Sometimes it's just somebody today just asked me, and somebody just out the blue just said, "Hey, how's it going?"
Mhm.
That it means nothing to that person. It took them 3 seconds, but it means loads to me, because it means like, "Guy, cool." That
Mhm.
means that it ain't just what I can give to you. You're not just taking from me. What I could do for you. Now it's also like, you trying to make sure I'm straight too.
Yeah.
So I appreciate stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wanted to
Communicate. Well, my bad. Go ahead. You was about to say something.
I just wanted to add real quick to that point. So there's a quote. I remember this for a very long time. I don't know where I actually learned it from, but it helped me to understand the world better and how much, like you said, no matter how we consider ourselves introverts or whatnot, but how
Mhm.
much we actually do depend and need people, right? And sometimes some of us can become a little bit too dependent and might be harboring unhealthy relationships because of that. So we have to be discerning also, right?
Hmm.
But no man's island, right? Because that's pretty much the human situation. Humans are social beings. People
Right.
need other people no matter what. And also the my favorite part was the section where she talked about, are you the type of person who takes away from somebody's body budget, or are you the type of person who adds to it? And remember, we had that in that show, we had a discussion about how, for me in particular, that was a great way to self-reflect and really look in the mirror and really try to tone down or up some things, whether they be negative or positive, depending, right? And how just even like the tone of my voice, because I'm tone deaf, how that might affect somebody's body budget, and just thinking on things like that. So I think that's important, and everybody should self-reflect. How can we just be a better human being also? Are we adding to someone's body budget, or are we actually taking away? And if we're taking away, then you're damaging another human being. And I don't want to be that person.
And another good thing about this is I can't even believe I forgot about this part, yo. The power of words. I think that was part of this chapter, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh
About,
yes.
she talked about how words are tools that affect living organisms. I don't think I got it verbatim, but she was talking about how, just a simple word, and I think Brad spoke to this. To say something kind to somebody, and it adds to their body budget. You can say something mean to somebody, like how we do people sometimes. Serial killers, man. We ain't no angels, man. We take body budgets around here. You know what I mean? we do drain body budgets, man. When you come on here with the silliness, you know what I mean? We've been known to affect people in negative ways. You know what I mean?
Well,
And
I'm guilty.
we're gonna try to do better, but we still gonna fight the good fight. You know what I mean? Just as much, we want to give y'all information to help build y'all up and have y'all prepared for when these people come out here and try to trick y'all, and just even learning period is good for your body budget. You know what I mean? Just having this knowledge and people that like to learn, people that like to communicate with people that having positive conversations. So the power of words, man, just take that as however you want to take it, man. Maybe if you the type of person that tell it like it is and don't give a damn about people's feelings, like how I am sometimes. I really do be feeling like that.
We already know.
Yeah, after reading this chapter like a couple of months ago, it did make me think about it at least. I was like, damn, I'm fucked up.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
You know what I mean? But
oh boy, I'm gonna take away from all y'all, buddy. Go ahead and finish.
But when you know better, you do better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm trying. Goddamn,
it's all good. You young too. You young, but I'm older and I still don't know no better, so whatever. But can I take away from y'all body budget? Marcus, Brass, and Ken, I'm finna take away, ladies and gentlemen, because now I'm just finna be a little messy, and this ain't got nothing to do with show. But we do a planning session, and maybe our planning session for the show wasn't as complete as we normally do. So we had a little discussion before we start the show, right, ladies and gentlemen? I had suggested that we only do the show as a review, and they was like, "Nah, we should get into chapter 6." I just want everybody to know that it is an hour and 13 minutes into the show, and we still reviewing. I just wanted to.
No, that's cool. Matter of fact, it might be good that we do chapter 6 on the next show and let people.
I told y'all. I just want to say, I want to say, I told you so. They'll never listen to me. I keep trying to tell y'all, y'all gonna listen to me.
Messi is not just a soccer player.
Look, at the end of the day, we still want to hear from if people want to come up.
I'm just gonna drop the link. I also said I want to drop a link in the chat either because this show, if we get into 6, is so complicated, right? But nah, I'm dropping a link and y'all come in and let's have a discussion on what we have relearned today, what we've been learning we've been doing this for almost 2 months now. So let's wrap a bit. Let's wrap it up a little bit. I want to hear what you all have to say about it. Any experiences you would like to share with the audience or whatnot. So let's talk about it a little bit, even if you want to talk a little bit about ACEs, acquired childhood experiences. And actually, that's funny because that was a show that we wanted to do, and we were going to focus on the ACEs test. There's a test to measure your not acquired, always messed it up, adverse childhood experiences. And those who felt comfortable, if you wanted to discuss that, based on numbers, and then we would talk about your likelihood for certain things. And this was definitely a scientific survey done. So this wasn't any make-believe, and lots of doctors, neuroscientists, psychologists, or whatnot utilizes adverse childhood experiences as a measure. So it has become a very important tool to understanding lots of things. But yeah, that's all I had to say though. Hey y'all.
That's all good, man. It actually goes with the flow of the, you know what I mean? Because we did cover a lot over this past hour or so. So, if anybody would like to come up, man, and rap with us, man, any of the Killer Army, any of the PK core members, you know, anybody in the chat.
DQ talking about
if you're a Cowgirls fan and you need a
shoulder,
no, listen, hold on, bro. Listen. I just want to say, since we are being positive, right? It actually, y'all just affected me. So in the Discord, I just want to say that the no words to Cowgirls fans, no diss. Y'all had a great season. Only one team wins the Super Bowl. Most of us only play 1 week more than the other team. So salute. But if you need a shoulder to cry on, find another one, because we got a game tomorrow.
I just wanted to say DQ side definitely was there. He was in our little planning meeting, so he talking about you messy.
Hey, Kent, you know what's funny about these shows that we do, right? You know how we listen, we listen to our elders, our grandparents, our and you would call them quote unquote, they're not scientific, right? But all of these times when we do these shows, always some of the things that they used to say to me when I was a kid replay in my mind. And it's not exactly what we're talking about. Like my grandmother used to always say, you're going to mind somebody.
Yeah, boy.
You're going to mind somebody. And it like constantly, she used to say it all the time. And then I actually waited till I got older. And I asked my sister, like, what does she mean when she say that? Like, I just thought that was just a saying. And she was saying, like, you might not listen to me, but you're going to mind your teacher. And if you don't listen to your teacher, you're going to mind your boss at your fast food job. And if you don't mind him and commit a crime, you're going to mind that correction officer. But you are not going to leave this earth not minding somebody. So it's like the more, and it kind of goes into this chapter of like, you might really think like, I don't need anybody and I'm not this and other. You're gonna need somebody. You're gonna have to mind someone. So I just love that our, the way our parents raised us. I think Sakina once said she grew up in the North but with Southern parents. So it's like, you want to say, well, she didn't get this upbringing. No, she probably got the greatest upbringing because they say the same things that we learn in these quote unquote Cambridge books and JSTOR. They just say it in their way through life experience. So, it's just another way to think about it.
We got Bobby Bang on the panel. And we got the Killer Official DQ Hampton. What's going on?
That was a weak intro. Hold on, man. Hey, we got the baddest in the town. And I mean, they know him as the God Killer, man, aka Brother Unc, aka Bobby Bang in the building from Baltimore, man. What's going on with you, boy?
Yeah, that's a little better. That's a little better.
There you go.
Kent driving. I'm not in the driver's seat, so I was just trying to, get us back on the road because he was swerving. That's all.
Hey,
she said, "You don't here."
Man, let me see. I want to share my screen.
That's
what I want to do. I would like to share my screen.
Go ahead, do your thing.
Get that party started right. You get that party started right. Just get it started right.
Scared.
All right. We don't play around here. We do it like we supposed to do it. Keep everything right. Hold on. All right.
It's gonna be the Ravens, something I already know.
Man, what? Huh? Hold on. We want to get it right, yo. We talking. Now it's about business. It's about business.
Oh
now.
God.
It's serious. It means something now, right?
Oh my God, I already know. DQ,
yeah, man. It's about all that. Hold on, let me get the share. Y'all got the share screen.
Oh, hurry up.
See. Share screen. It's shared in there.
No, we don't see.
Can y'all see it? Can y'all see it?
What is it?
It's coming, man.
Oh my God.
Y'all see it? How about them damn Cowboys?
Oh God.
How about them Cowboys? Somebody, a top-notch seed had to fall. They had to. But how about them Cowboys? Anybody seen Sosa?
This is not the sports channel.
Calling Sosa.
This
We're
is
calling
the brain
Sosa.
show.
Right. And we want to know the effects on the brain when you get booted out
Let
like
me
that.
mute. Let me mute. Wow, I can't.
I ain't doing it.
Anybody seen Sosa?
Look, they did
No. We need to call him. Right, he might be at the top of the Empire State Building looking over. We want to make sure our brother's okay.
Somebody send a welfare check. Go welfare check.
Anybody seen Lisa? Has any calling Lisa?
Calling
Lisa. She's not even in the chat.
Relax, relax. Don't do that. Let Lisa live, baby.
Let her live.
No.
Not on live. Don't do it on live.
Oh God, no, Bobby finna Siddle Killer Fish.
Listen.
SpaceAgeAfrican.
A top tier team had to get knocked off. That way, them ones is up here. Now they know it can happen to anybody. Now I'm officially understanding that the Ravens at least will be ready for that game next week because they seen it. Yeah,
You done?
Is what it is. Almost. I'm done. I'm. Anybody seen Sosa?
Oh man.
Calling Lisa.
Oh man. Okay. Can I introduce Anthony's?
Yeah, go ahead. I just wanted to.
I know you. Well, go ahead because you good at it.
We got the space age African.
The real one
in the building, standing on the moon. You see the pic. He was there. You know what I'm saying?
Standing on the moon.
On the moon. First black man on the moon. You know what I mean? Brother Anthony Bowman, aka the what was the title again?
SpaceAgeAfrican Starman.
Amateur.
Oh yeah, the amateur astrophysicist. Gotta get it right.
Yes, sir.
Get it right.
What's going on?
Let them know, Anthony. Let them know.
Yo, peace, everybody. I hope everybody doing all right. I know everybody doing better than me right about now.
Yeah, he got that cowboy stretch. I just heard it.
Yeah.
Anthony, that was your team, Anthony?
Yeah, he a Cowboys fan.
Boy.
Down goes Frazier.
Hey, but I call it how I see it though. I said what I said in the Discord. That's what it is. But as a true diehard Cowboy fan, dog, and a fan of football, it's time to tear it down and start all over.
Nah, not tear it down. No, I don't know about all.
No,
I
tear
gotta
it down.
look here. No, listen to me. Hear me out.
Tear it all down. Goddamn.
Hear me out. I know what he about to say. Go ahead.
Hear me out.
12-3.
No,
hear me out,
watch what
man.
he say.
Let me say what I got to say, and then give me your opinion. Let me say what I got to say. I got a quarterback that has proven 3 straight years, dog, that he cannot handle a too high safety look. 3 straight years. You can't handle it. If you can't pick it up in 3 years, dog, you're not gonna pick it up. You're not. Anybody that played football know where I'm coming from. It don't take 3 years to figure out how to beat a too high safety look for nobody. That's why you was a 4th round pick. Hear me out. I got what could possibly be the best middle linebacker in all of football playing on the edge, but you can easily game plan him out of a game. Have y'all ever seen Michael Parsons play in the middle, dog? And when I don't have a middle linebacker on my roster, now tell me I'm crazy.
I know y'all crazy trying to make this show the Sports Center.
It's a mind thing, Miss Juju. It's all about the mind.
Man, let me get on mute. I'm not playing with y'all.
Anything dealing with Cowboy fans deal with the mind, Juju. You gotta understand
This is the brain thing.
We all in the brain show right now. This is definitely the brain show.
This is a perfect segue.
I'm not that Cowboy fan that's the Cowboys gonna win just because they're the Cowboys. No, I'm not that dude. I love football. You know what I'm saying?
If you love football, you wouldn't love Dallas.
No, dog. I'm a Cowboy fan, just like my daddy. Just like my daddy, huh? That's what I was raised that way, dog. It was Cowboys. That's just what it was. I can't turn my back on them.
Hey, you gotta understand what Anthony talking about is real down here.
Yeah,
If
it's
you
real,
born
dog.
into a Cowboy fan, I was always the black sheep. I don't follow cults. I jumped out the wagon. You know what I'm saying? So, but I
That's
do
my brother.
understand how
You
strong it
cannot
is
use
down
that
here, boy.
cult.
Yeah.
You ain't saying the
Hey,
cult.
DQ.
It is.
DQ.
What
Man,
about the Texans? Are y'all sure the Texans?
I ain't got no
They're
problem
doing
with
real good.
nobody in the NFL.
Yeah, we're gonna play the Texans next week.
I
And they
like
might
what they
get
got
y'all.
going, dog. I
Nah,
like what they got
ain't
going.
Hey,
going.
but listen, Ant. The thing is, I understand old Cowboys fans. I just don't understand young
The
ones.
new ones, yeah.
Like y'all, I understand the ones from Roger Staubach and all of them, and I can understand the ones from Troy Aikman and all of them. But since Troy Aikman, the Cowboys have been a meme. And when y'all, not you per se, because you don't participate, but I said this weeks ago when the Eagles was losing and them Cowboys fans, y'all are the worst fans in the history of sports. Because y'all underachieved for 30 years almost. And somehow I gotta listen to these old titles and this, that, and the other. But when they was dissing us, when we was top of the world and we lost all them games in a row, I said I'm gonna stop talking because when y'all DQ, and tell me if I'm right or wrong, I said as soon as y'all get to the playoffs, it's over. I just didn't think it was gonna be I didn't think it was gonna be the first week because if you can't deal with too high safety, Mahomes couldn't deal with too high safety. That's what happened in the Super Bowl with the Bucs. But they regrouped, they figured it out, they did something different, got back to the Super Bowl and won. Dak Prescott is an underachieving quarterback, and y'all paid him half the salary cap. And Jordan Love ain't even got his big contract yet.
Nah, they ain't did all that, Brad. Now you're going too far. You're going too far.
I mean, so you know he like
how you going? Wait. You know why I say half the wait, Aaron. You know why I say half the salary cap? When it comes down to the X's and O's, how you gonna get rid of him? You can't get rid of him.
Are y'all serious right now?
No, see, that's why I say you going too far. You just stay on the football part. We're not gonna deal with the business end.
The business, I got you, G.
Stay on the football end.
Hold on, Anthony. Zach Prescott, he threw more touchdowns in the NFL this year. He only had 9 interceptions. He was leading in the MVP. So you can't say none of that. But you can't say that. They just ran across a buzzsaw. That's it.
No, Look at all the games we lost and the games he
3
played
and 6
his worst in, dog. It's a too high safety look. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It ain't just happened today. It's been that way, dog. He cannot handle that. And like I say,
what's their record, yo? What was their record?
Look at his worst games. That's what I'm talking about.
No,
That's
what was
why
their record,
I say they are the fine.
What was our record?
They was like 12-4, yo. You talk.
They don't won 12 games 3 years straight.
I know, but they was the number 2 seed, yo.
That's
successful.
I ain't heard them.
Of course it is.
Nah, not for the Cowboys, man.
Of course
Nah. Not for the Cowboys. Why? Because they're America's team?
No, because that's what they believe. You talking to their fans, bro. That's good for y'all.
Yeah, y'all crazy.
That's good for the Raiders.
Y'all ain't won a Super Bowl in 30 years, yo. Come on, dog.
What y'all not doing is looking at the way they losing, dog. That's what you're not doing. I'm coming from a football perspective. I mean, you got all the stats. That's the fine, pretty chick in the hood that everybody done hit, dog. That's what that is.
Oh my God, we have devolved.
When you get to the playoffs, bro, it's a different beast in the NFL. It's a different beast. You can go 17-0 and get your ass kicked in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? The regular season, yeah, that's great. That's great. But when we get to the playoffs, bro, he see a too high safety look and he frees up. Every game we done lost where Dak Prescott has played horrible, go back and look at what kind of defense he had to face, dog.
This is like a confession.
I can't do nothing with that, I can't do nothing with that. I'm not gonna win no Super Bowl. All I'm gonna do is break records in the regular season. That's all I'm gonna do. Period. But this game is about winning championships, bro.
Yeah,
you got to be Debo to do that. You can't be that fine, pretty chick. You got to be Debo to win a Super Bowl.
But y'all won some Super Bowls, man. It's okay.
No, we was Debo then.
Like
in the
30 years.
names, nigga. We was
About
Debo.
30 years ago.
Yeah, 30 years ago. That's what I'm saying. Shit, bro.
This is a confessional. We having an intervention live on YouTube.
Yeah, man. You know, we trying to get your body budget back right, man. You know, we know, the words is, the way people playing is kind of, is draining you right now, man.
They can't. Commanders don't get to participate in this conversation.
Hey, look, I've been getting
no.
Hey, look, I've been not been getting offended from that, yo. I'm like, shit, we gonna do now. We got to tear it down and start back up, but I ain't gonna get into it.
Well, y'all moving to Virginia, so y'all literally tearing it down and start
all
back
the way
up.
down. Take it, man. Take the whole team out of there.
Yeah. Now that's just the Cowboys' problem. Is just like Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp. They always talk about. They look great. That's the most disappointing part of them is how they look so dominant, and sooner or later it's gonna fall apart. And for 30 years. I give them that. They look like a good playoff team for about 30 years. But it always falls apart somehow. But I don't feel bad for them. They had a good season, so.
Hey, but
they delusional. They not goddamn America's team. See, it starts with delusion. If you're not setting reality, you can't move forward. The whole fan base is so damn delusional that the players start feeding into it. They actually think they're America's team.
They are.
They actually think they're America's team. They actually think that.
They are.
They actually, if you actually think you're America's team, when the playoffs start, do you know how much pressure that is? Because all of America is watching you. Mm-hmm. Too much pressure for one team. Too much. They're not America's team.
They're not America's team.
They knocked out in the first round, 3 rounds. The 3 years, they're not that. They need to turn it down. They need to stop saying they're America's team and start right there. They don't need to switch. They got a solid team, 12-3. Kent went 12-0 or some shit, 0-50.
Oh, we ain't no damn.
So he wish he had a 12-3 team. Trust me with that.
We want at least. We want at least.
That team is worth the most out of all sports. When they regular season games get as many views as damn near AFC and NFC championship games, they got the largest fan base, probably the most powerful fan base. That's America's team, bro. They just don't win. They just don't win. The Patriots win the most. Nobody considers them America's team.
We won 4 games, so we did get a little bit. But look, man, we don't want to.
Yeah, we moving on. We doing a different show now or something?
Yeah, we don't even want to talk about football no more, man.
But we was done, wasn't we?
Nah, go off, cause it's coming to 8:30. We already
we're done. We were done.
So anyway, so y'all go ahead and have y'all fun. I'll do with y'all in the Discord.
Hey, you about to strike it back up?
I'm turning off my Discord.
You ain't striking it?
I'm trying to protect my body, but I don't need that.
I'm enjoying football. I'm enjoying myself.
Shout to all the.
I'm gonna watch Garfield and Son of to blow each other up, and I'm gonna laugh at the niggas. I told them to stop. They took the videos down. They brought it back up.
Oh man,
Sonetta was not about his word.
Don't bring that over here,
right? Hey, yeah. Garfield was about his word. So if you're not gonna hear the shit, just say I ain't fucking doing it. So you can't ask me to do something. I'm gonna say I ain't fucking doing it. Simple as that. Right? Be about our word. That's all we got in this world is our word. Think about shit before you say you're gonna do it. That's the message for the day. Be about your damn word and be ready to change based off more available data. And I'm done. That's for them pseudos. Now I'm switching to the damn pseudos talking about you can't change the switch. I'm gonna bring it right here because we pseudo killers. Simple as that. We have the right to change our damn minds. I'm talking about science and scholarship. Simple as that. Simple. That's the problem. Niggas don't change their minds. Niggas don't think through no situations. Things change all the time. Available data. This community is stuck in religious mode of thinking with every damn thing. Simple. It ain't hard to figure that out. Once again, when we dealing with science and scholarship based off of more information that you get, you supposed to be able to change your mind so they can respect shows like this. You can't even respect a show like this if you stuck in religion. We turn it all down to the beginning of the shit. We saying, how do you think? It's the mind. How does your mind work? I mean, how does your brain work? That's essential to understand anything. Why you believe this? Why you think that? What's really going on? Trying to stop people from getting tricked up. And while you can't even watch YouTube and make a clear assessment because you don't understand your mind, your brain, how your brain works. You're not scientifically literate. You're not none of the above. So you get tricked out all your money. Then you start blaming people. You have no assessment of reality. So while we live and fight for reality, we got people wilding out, think they're in ancient Egypt some damn where. And then get mad when you bring experts in. And when we touch on the sacred cows, then they crying because they are religious. They claim to leave Islam, Judaism, and Christianity, and they run right back into an unorganized conscious. It's called conscious religion. Unorganized. The priest is all over the damn place. No literature, grab it from any damn where. Man, come on, yo, we should go live and have 1,000 people viewing this. But let me start cussing people out. Let me dive in the middle of two dudes squabbling over the age of 50 and the channel be bumping.
Lord.
And it's banging.
Bobby.
Yeah, over the age of 50.
Over the age of fucking 50 and can't come to an agreement to chill the hell out. Really? Is that what we at today? I'm saying I ain't that dude. So don't ask me to do shit because I ain't doing it. I'm an adult here. Just meet up in the park and slap the shit out of each other and get it out the way. Because now you got everybody looking super stupid. Ain't no winners in this motherfucking thing right here that we doing. We catch flag, yo, like you say, we on the periphery, dog. We trying to stop people from being super stupid.
We on the fringe.
We're on the fringe. We looking at them fools saying, damn, did that man just say use some chicken noodle soup to defeat a virus? Did he just say that? And they laugh at us and they throw tomatoes. Did they just say, are they now patrolling the airways, talking to the next generation, promoting racism, white supremacy in the form of blackology? Is they doing that now? Is they making the same mistake that the Europeans made when they came into Africa and had no idea about diversity? Had no idea, didn't know what the hell all they seen was, oh, that's black. Anybody lighter than that, they invaders. Right. Nah, yo, we don't aim to be super stupid, yo. We aim to be intelligent over here, man. I'm gonna end with that, man. Bobby Banger and this bitch.
Bang, 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 bang.
True indeed.
I like that. And that's facts. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Make sure, I think the lesson from the day, man, the challenge to y'all, man, out there, man, say something nice to somebody tomorrow, man, and just see how it affects your day, man. You know, and you know, if somebody say something nice to you, just remember what the lesson that we, you know, that chapter 5 lesson. Number 5, man. Try not to be a drainer, man. Be a, what's the, how you say it again?
Yeah, be a person that adds to someone's body budget, not take away.
Yeah, man. It'll make you feel much better in life. Trust me on that.
And I think that's this is what's happening, right? What's going on, which we, the pseudo killers, are not involved or a part of. Unfortunately, we have to be associated with it. But can you imagine how all that, you know, energy used, that good energy used for something so just vile and just unproductive and just mad, right? I mean, that's got to be taxing on their body budget, both of them. I mean, for real, though. That's wild.
Yeah, nobody wins.
Nobody wins, bro. Absolutely not. But I mean,
I can respect it. I can respect it in the beginning. Now we way past.
Man, that's the boy. That's worse than, man. I ain't gonna even say it, but I ain't never.
I'm just saying I can respect it. Like I ain't trying to hear that shit. Somebody try to get
life.
But you gotta know when to stop.
They don't do that in the hood like that now. It ain't no.
Nah, I'm gonna get in the mud with niggas. I'm gonna let niggas know. I'm getting right in the mud with you, and then I'm gonna know when to stop. Yeah, I'm definitely up for all that. Trust me with that. But I'm gonna know when to stop. Right? Get that knock. It's called a knock. How they say it? Yeah, I'm tapping on doors. Yeah, everybody play. Yeah. See, I respect everybody though, from the littlest person to the tallest person, yo. I learned in my life, yo, you can't estimate the heart of a person by the size of them, dog.
Nah, you're right.
You can't. It's an illusion, yo. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, yo. The whole skin color thing, it's an illusion. You can't tell how loyal somebody gonna be to you based off the color of their skin, yo. It's an illusion, yo. So we fight those illusions, yo, with top-notch information, yo. We had a great discussion with Richard Carrier. Talked about atheism. Yeah, go check that show on the community. Top-notch. A mate wasn't trying to make him say any damn thing. You know how I saw do an interview. Oh, they're trying to set a nigga up to say what he want. All that, nah, dog. Nah, you know what I mean? We gonna ask him, yo, what's up with the fringe material? You know what I'm saying? We talked about that. We want to know, what is it? We want clear stuff. We read the Wikipedia article, we seen what it said, and based off of our reading comprehension, we got what he was. Oh, bet we want to hear you say, bet we straight. That's the type of conversations we have. Wait till we bring the Egyptologists in. Like, I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of reading comprehension is done based by modern standards. You know what I'm saying? If you was in the Annabella South, if you was in 1940, Jim Crow, they be black. How don't nobody understand that, Kent? Like, you know what, Kent? I'm gonna end with this. Them niggas scamming, yo. They can play any goddamn thing they want to play. Some shit I said 10, 15 years ago to 3 minutes ago, nigga. If it's better information, I just figured out I'm gonna change my damn stance. Man. I ain't listening to these niggas.
Man,
they fucking scamming, dog. And I'm telling y'all that. I know a scam when I see it.
Hey.
I know, listen, they scamming for views.
Yeah,
they scamming with a big S.
Capital S.
Capital S. Capitalize the whole thing. The scammers, the flim-flammers, the bam-bam boomers. Dude, I just wanted to argue long enough, Kent, to see if they was really scamming. Kent, we was like, Kent, you was always say they was scamming. But you know, I got a big heart, dog. I say, nah, I'm gonna give everybody opportunity. And before you know it, the Egyptians knew the Big Bang, right? Before you know it, the Egyptians understood plank time. Yeah, remember all that?
Yep.
I was like, huh? Overthrew linguistics. Oh, now the Egyptians is like, people don't understand what we talking about. Like, we saying that we listen to Jablonski, dog. We listen to her. Yo, she say for 350,000 years for human history, they had placed no type of value on skin. You feel me? And you know what's deep, yo? If we really want to know who we are and understand our history, right? You gotta get real technical and take your time, right? And get out of the way of the racist attempt to misinform. You got to get away from all that. And you just say, I sit there and realize, you know what I really need to learn? I need to learn, what culture did I actually come from? Right? Because it's the culture that's going to teach you and inform you. I had to think back. I was like, that ain't what the elders were saying. They were saying, you know, it's your culture that instruct you and inform you. So you can see what's part of the culture raised your level and which part of the culture wasn't ready for that new incursion for people that was thinking different. You can look at the weaknesses of it, right? And you can just pull it out and get rid of it, right? And then you look at the strength parts of it and say, yeah, I want to help teach my kids that. I want to incorporate that. But if you base that shit off of skin color, yo, you can have snakes all around you, dog. Because last time I checked, the people promoting this misinformation look just like us, yo. White people ain't doing it. White people say, you know what? We was wrong. We was wrong. We was wrong. And the reason I know they scamming because every source they show agree with what we saying. They act like they can't hear.
Yeah, and the white people point out they scammers too. They be like, nah, don't believe him. Yeah, he's a known pseudoscientist. You know what I'm saying? He had this going on, and we find out he was lying about that. And on top of that, we find out he had this other stuff going. You know what I mean? They tell them they scammers, yo. And
Rising and was wrong. They did too much. They made up the Nubian name. They say all that.
Yep.
Not us though, yo. Like we can't. We gotta take Dr. Ben book, right? And that shit got to be the Bible. We can't take the sources out of Dr. Ben book, right? That still hold true today, and throw away the ones that's outdated. How dare us do that?
Mm-hmm.
How dare us do that? Oh man, yeah, they scamming, yo. Yeah, I ain't gotta talk to none of them because they scammers, dog. That's why I'm right here. I'm right here, yo. Right here, yo. Well, I ain't gotta deal with scammers, yo. We done already won, yo.
Yeah.
We done won. Anything else, we fighting each other at this point. I'm not doing that. And Lord knows any debate I have, yo, I'm gonna make sure I get the lion's share. I'm gonna make sure pseudo killers get a piece. I'm gonna make sure the people get a piece. I'm not giving it away to nobody. Trust me with that. Because I already know we got the keys. I ain't know how they say my mother ain't raised no damn fools or dummies.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, I love this, yo. I'm really enjoying, right? So I'm letting y'all know now, man. Hey, look, y'all ain't got to upgrade if you don't want to, yo. Hey, science is fucking undefeated, yo. We in them motherfucking high altitude bombers, them stealth bombers, yo. Yeah, I'm saying them Apache attack helicopters, yo, high above the clouds, and y'all shooting bows and arrows. That shit, we drinking coffee. How I go, Kent? We drink coffee. We like, what the hell is that noise? Ping, 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 ping. We like, oh, they shooting arrows? Wait till we bring them Egypt houses on here.
Man.
Wait till we bring them geneticists on here. What is it? Yeah, right. They're going to do the same thing they do. Oh, why you do that? Nigga, I'm looking at the interview I'm doing. Nigga in the chat talking about, I can't believe you went that low, Unc. You brought the white boy over here. I can't believe you went and did that. So you can't believe I went and got some clarity because I was taught a niggas lying about sources.
Yeah, you know how they get you though? They'll say, you brought the white boy over here, but if we went and got somebody black that's in the same profession, they'll say that the black dude is just quoting what the white people say. Or
he agent. They'll call him an agent.
Read Patar's quote right there. Look, read that. Look, Patar's already knocked out. He don't believe nothing he's saying right there, yo. He don't believe that. He don't believe that. He don't believe that. Because he wouldn't drive a car, yo. This is not the time to believe Europeans and hit the brakes in your car while you got your family in it. Don't touch them brakes because the Europeans made them. It's one of them statements, yo. See, that's why they don't get it though. That's why we deal with science. That's why we have plenty of African Americans that's been involved in science from day one.
Facts.
Right? It's simple as that.
Exactly.
I asked them, I said, name me 10 scientists, whether they're past or present, that are African American, black, or whatnot. And what's sad is hardly anybody can do that. So it's like you can't even talk because you don't know. Maybe you should, learn that first before you say, and always repeating the white man. No, it isn't. It's the science is a human invention, period.
We don't listen. We look, listen, man. I'm a skeptic, yo. I'm a real black atheist. I don't trust white or black people when it comes to telling me my damn history, because both sides and tricked the shit out of me. Last time I checked. So I needed a pendulum. I needed something to measure shit. I needed to be able to look at it and say, well, who lying? See, because it's an illusion, that thing they call skin color. It's a hell of an illusion. So I wanted to get past the illusion. Anthony Bowman, SpaceAgeAfrican, talk about this shit all the time. See, he studied the cosmos. Make sure you check out the Cosmos show on Wednesday. Well, that's the ultimate illusion. Ultimate illusion. Trust me with that. So if you judging your information based off the color of somebody's skin, you better take a look at Tariq and them niggas. You better take a look at Umar Johnson and them niggas. You better take a look at them. They get millions to scam you and successful at it. But they look just like you. Irritated genie. This nigga go to the daggone quote unquote, he go to Nairobi. The Nairobi Museum in Kenya. This is where they got an abundance of Australopithecus africanus fossils. This nigga getting in some of this white people. Look at them. They've been such and such by the white people. These is African people finding their fossils, you know what I'm saying? The Leakey Foundation, when they built the museum for them, the white boys say, look, we only gonna have one white person on the board, right? We want y'all to be in charge of y'all thing. And then we'll eventually get off the board and let them control. Because colonialism know what they did, yo. And so that museum in Nairobi is ran by black people, black anthropologists, black curators. Simple as that. And for an African American to go over there and tell them they act like white people because they showing us the fossils, man, them people in Kenya, yo, in their school systems, they teach the scientific origin of humanity, and they teach the different tribal stories about how they say humanities came about. That's all we saying, dog. So we ain't sitting around waiting for a person who I perceive to be a certain race to give us nothing over here. So yeah, Batar, that's a weak statement, bro. Yeah, we over here, we dealing with science, yo. But we ain't gonna get tricked like that. We're gonna be able to make some intelligent decisions on what we're doing. Boy, I see Cedric in here, man.
What up with your city said? The mad son.
Peace, family. What it do? What it do? What it do?
Peace, Cedric.
Yeah, I got to agree. Great interview with Richard Carrier. I was busy, but I wanted to give him just a little pushback on his claim about the supernatural, because once we can use the tools of science to observe what is perceived as the supernatural, it becomes natural. So that's what a little pushback I wanted to give him. But otherwise than that, he gave us something I've been talking about all the time. What do you use to evaluate the information that you hear? How do you apply your logic to the arguments that you hear? And this is why half of the nonsense that people say out of their mouth, I dismiss it. Reggie, when I tell you your argument is flawed, your argument is flawed. But at this point, the pseudo army claims that Neanderthal James, is the master of DNA in this community. They scam it. Let's be honest. At this point, read and comprehension and things I've been saying. The read and comprehension, these do. And if you admit you ain't past high school, you need to slow down when you try to read journals. You need to slow down when you open the encyclopedia. You know you ain't past high school, slow down. You got comprehension issues and you look retarded. At this point, I'm just laughing. It doesn't even warrant a response. It's like, these dudes are scamming. What else? Scammers. They scamming for views, they're scamming for sales, and they're playing on our people's emotions by keeping them ignorant in this color scheme. Again, slow it down. Before the transatlantic slave trade, there was no group of people that were identified by their skin color. And even up to today, you look at a dude, you say he's Indian, he's Chinese, or he's Mexican, but he's black. So now apply that to the ancient Egyptians and stop the disingenuous arguments when they were changed. Yes, the genetic makeup was changed, but we were changed too, right? But we still black, you dummy.
Yeah, man.
We were subject to the transatlantic slave trade. Our genetic makeup today is different. Did it stop me from being quote unquote black? We were changed. It says it right there. We were changed. Man, when you don't understand what you're reading, you can't skip steps. This ain't a rap cipher.
We ain't gonna go too far left with it, man.
Nigga, I'm gonna stay on the left. How about that? I'm gonna stay right there, Kent. I'm just right there, nigga. You feel me? Like I'm there, yo. Like the flim flam bim bams in full effect constantly, yo.
Yeah,
whole
like
pseudo
it's too
army
much.
coming, yo, this made out of chocolate. And when that rain hit that chocolate and that sun hit that chocolate, it all melt.
Yo,
Ain't got
you
no
know,
substance to it, yo. We
Ken,
coming over here with concrete, yo.
Ken, Ken, when it reached to the point, right, that your argument is, you wouldn't say that to me outside. When a 50-year-old man want to talk about fighting and pulling up because he can't read, because he dumb as bricks, like dumb. At this point, he dumb as you're like I said it a while ago. You're like Lenny from Mice and Men. Dumb. Like dumb. You sound dumb. You sound dumb. Every time you open your mouth, you sound more dumb. Like we gonna play your videos with an Egyptologist there and ask him, just say it. And these people with PhD has no problem saying that sounds completely dumb. This gentleman has a problem reading. What does he think it means when your genetics is changed? Does that necessarily mean the population phenotypically has been changed dramatically? Like, do you understand what 3% means over a population? Do you have a clue? Can you read? Dummy, just dumb.
Hey, said what y'all think? What y'all think about this comment in the chat, man? He said, we talking about people deceiving, and one of the things, one of the reasons I used to say they were scamming, because I know this community was supposed to be built on people that want to learn. That's why most people get drawn to it, because they might have got out of a religion that they was in, out of searching for more information. People that read books and things of that nature. So it's supposed to be an environment for those intellectual type people. But it got to the point where it's like they learn what what makes them feel good, and they didn't want to go no further or whatever. You know what I mean? It wasn't no objective, truths that they were trying to learn. So
because in that transition.
Hold on, wait. You ain't answered the question, did you finish the question?
Oh no, I ain't even read it yet. Hold on. No, so I was just saying why I thought they were scamming, because once I thought everybody's goal was to find out what the most accurate information was, or what the truth was in situations. And it seemed like once we found that, if it went against people's beliefs or what was making them money or what was catering to their audience, that's when we start running into the conflicts and stuff. But to read Marcus's question, Chilamuwambe, I think that's how you say that. Deception
Chilimwe.
Whatever it is.
Chilimwe.
Deception is an evolutionary mechanism for survival.
Got me messing up.
Multiple network operations are involved in human lives. Good book on the subject was written by Robert Trivers. So deception is an evolutionary mechanism for survival. So do you think they just can't help it?
Nah, they scamming.
No, they scamming.
Yeah, because you present yourself as a teacher, yo. And you present yourself as an expert. You present yourself as having something that's groundbreaking. That's what make them scamming.
Mm-hmm.
You get it. Like we can just sit here and take our time, right? And we can read the statement, right? By my mistake, keep bringing up the same old shit from the Oxford Dictionary, right? That's that. By modern standards, the Egyptians would be considered black. By modern American standards. Like how they don't know what that means, yo? Like everybody is black in America, yo. The one drop rule.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey black.
You get that? Like so why we I'm saying, so for you to sit up there and act like you can't comprehend that statement with a degree.
Yeah. And
when a lady say the Jim Crow South, dude, are you really want to talk about Jim Crow South? We're gonna bring up the wild people in the 50s, yo. We're gonna bring up wild white people. You know how wild they was, yo, in the Jim Crow, dog.
That's the rules we going by.
I mean, yo, we trying to listen, yo. We just want to have good, stimulating conversation for everybody, right? You don't in particular want to hear me cuss people out. You know, in particular, you know what I'm saying, when I hear Cedric cussing people out, because Cedric do all the cussing. It ain't me. It's definitely Cedric. You don't want to hear all that. Cedric can cuss people out, lose his mind. He's
spanking people.
Right. You don't really want to hear that, yo. You want to hear a good mix between the pseudo killers, you know what I'm saying? Anthony, you know what I mean? Juju, me. You want to hear a good conversation, right? A little bit of, a little bit, but you just at the end of the day, you want to be able to measure just the conversation in general, right? So you often wonder, well, how do they reduce to people cussing each other out, talking about each other's family? Because it becomes to a point where now you're defeating dictionaries. Now you're just not comprehending this stuff, yo.
Now you're playing out lying.
Yeah, like, you like the skin map ain't the skin map now.
The disingenuousness.
So that my point I want to finish off is that's why they scamming, yo. Mm-hmm. We didn't hear Wu Jia get on here and say he made up his own test to know when to get a vaccine. As intelligent as Wu Jia is. Like as intelligent as Reggie is. Dude, they gotta be scamming. Mm. You way too intelligent to defeat the skin map. You know it's a theory on skin, on how to skin that color. How you defeating that?
And at a certain point, when you purposely straw man everything we say, twist things around, when you're that disingenuous to that to go to that point, there is nothing more than I can conclude than you're scamming. You're actually scamming. When you go to the point that you're gonna take up a rehydration test, read where we know we were going to find the melanin layer. And use that to claim that Diops's hypothesis has been proven. Like how? At which point do I say you're scamming?
A Bitterman conversation.
No, that's not a Bitterman conversation.
Plus, we at the 2-hour mark, though, and we decided we don't want to go too long. So, Bobby Banker, why don't you finish it up? And we'll end this one for today. I hope that's the right one because I dropped another one in there for you.
Yeah, I got the right one.
Okay. You see, I loaded it up. I figured it out. I'm becoming technologically savvy. Well, we got a new banger for y'all from DQ with the word. So on our way out, we got y'all. So yeah, we Bobby Banger, you gonna crank it up later? You gonna crank it up right after this?
Nope, I was in the mode right here. It's too late. I'm done. Killed it. We was right there. You had another hour content, and with the views would have went all the way we want. They would have heard They would have heard a good mind show, and they'd have heard niggas getting beat up like they supposed
make that
to.
A separate show though. I'm serious. Like let's go off on another.
No, that's your rule. That's your rule. I'm done.
It's not my rule. It's not me.
Well, who is it then? You the only one talking.
We have a group of people that.
Hey, Kent, you agree to that?
Hey, I'm rocking with that.
You agree to that? Nah, we good.
No, we good, man. So man, I think we had a good conversation, man. I think it blended over pretty good into the other things that we wanted to address. Especially being that it's been a while since we've been back in the building, man. So we just want to get people reacquainted. And we got more shows to come. Be on the lookout for Juju and Anthony on Wednesday, man. What y'all gonna be on Wednesday, Juju? What's the topic?
Wednesday at 7:00. Yeah.
Wednesday at 7:00.
We're gonna deal with some simulation theory stuff. I haven't quite figured out the topic yet, but we about to go into the rabbit hole.
Oh boy.
Make sure you
keep community. Oh boy.
Yeah, there's some people in there we got to pull out. We got to bring them out there.
Yeah, we got to pull them out. We going in there with a rope tied. You feel me?
I'm gonna tie a rope around my waist. That's oh boy.
So actually, you have a bit of faith in us because I think you will actually appreciate how in the direction that we're going to take the conversation. So,
you know, there's no stress. Juju, it's not the pseudo killers I'm worried about. Remember the last time we were having a healthy conversation about how we evaluate the evidence for the aliens? Right? The conversation was how we evaluate the evidence, and we ended up time traveling through wormholes in computers.
But so in those conversations, sometimes we're just having conversation. I don't want to dwell into it, but you have to set parameters for those type of conversations, and you actually have to define what type of conversation it is. And I'll let everybody know now that when you're talking about simulation theory, first of all, it's not a theory, and secondly, it's not a scientific conversation. It's a philosophical one. So I'll leave that there for you all to chew on a little bit until we get into it.
It's not even. Oh boy. Like I said, I'm a tie my rope and tie it to a coconut tree because we going in.
True indeed. And
what you were saying, Kent, go ahead.
No, I was just wondering, it ain't even a hypothesis, right? Simulation.
Nope.
Yeah. So, and y'all tune in for that on Wednesday, man. Be on the lookout, community of skeptics. You never know, man. He might hit you 11:59 tonight. He might hit you tomorrow. He might hit you Tuesday.
Man, Bobby, crank it up because Fine Time in the chat, and he was like, he just got here. So yeah, we want to hear more from Bobby Banger. We just
I want to bang him some pseudo.
3-4 hours long. So yeah, let's get it popping.
And make sure y'all check out that interview he did with Richard Carrier the other day, man. That was very
that was fire.
Yes, sir. Y'all won't be disappointed, man. So
check this out. If Bobby Banger don't go live, y'all on Community of Skeptics, we'll be back with a Hit the Button show. All right, we'll do that for y'all. Yeah.
Indeed. So with that being said, man, we're gonna ride out to this DQ with the words this time.
With the words, new banger.
You know what I mean? And we out, man. Appreciate everybody on the panel, man, and everybody that joined us in the chat.
No respect for those who break their neck to keep their hoes in check. Be sure to check the box off how I'm knocking their socks off. Unique flavor, stay in the bag like hot sauce. Let me get mine off. These niggas is tripping, they signed off. I'm becoming a one-of-a-kind boss. Think the kush is for Germany, the way the man cough. Hilarious with the flow, I'm fucking the word off. These niggas claim they hard, they really appear soft and peeled off. Mad job when I aim when the spears toss. Newbie ass rappers is really my kids now. I'm just Aubrey on the gram, cropping these kids out. To catch wreck. No respect for those who break their neck to keep their hoes in check. Be sure to check the box off how I'm knocking their socks off. Unique flavor, stay in the bag like hot sauce. Better call a timeout. A fool nigga, you a fool nigga. Think you can fuck with this rap style. I do this shit for fun. I'm really the class clown. Tap dancing on top of niggas' head till they tap out. Really the cash cow. Submission hole, yeah, you pigeonhole. Realizing your dice then crapped out. Put yourself in the box, you really just assed out. Cause your boy about to pop and I'm shutting that ass down. Cream of the crop, it really get passed round. Cause I'm cooler than the cooler of cools in Hicktown. Niggas claim they rappers, they really just sit down. Only rap for Facebook, I'm reporting that shit now. Compilation of music, sending the zip file to the nearest A&R. Big fish in a big town. Musically inclined, I'm never gonna slip down. Cause the shit is going up as soon as it's mixed down. To catch wreck. No respect for those who break their neck to keep their hoes in check. Be sure to check the box off how I'm knocking their socks off. Unique flavor, stay in the bag like hot sauce. DQ.